last BD webinar. I missed that one, so I didn't get to see it.
Okay. Well, everybody, again, welcome to Directory Webinar number 25. New year, new directory, right, for you guys. Hopefully, you guys are looking forward to an expanded year for your business this year and looking to convert your directory's potential. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the new stuff in BD this week and just kind of catch up. I know it's been a few weeks for some of us here. And if anybody has any questions about BD as we're going through that, we can take side roads as we always do and answer any questions as they come up. So please do not hesitate to jump in or ask a question. If I don't see something in the chat and somebody's asking a question, if somebody can flag me down, I'll try to answer that stuff. Otherwise, feel free to come up calm and jump in. So welcome Carlos as well. He says he's joining from the first time. Glad you could be here. And Mark, are you talking about the webinar Wednesday that I did? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you just talking about the updates from BD?
It was at the last one that they had. I missed it.
Well, they've actually had two. Well, I mean, I was on two webinars ago, so they've actually had another one since then. So maybe you missed two. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, but we're going to talk. I sent out an email if you guys got that. Some of the things we're going to talk about today. We're going to rehash some stuff that we talked about last time and got to fix, or just on some of the image resizing stuff that we had talked about before. And I'm just going to go over some of the new stuff in BD and some of the changes that hopefully you guys can avail yourselves up, as we go throughout the year. So I'm gonna tee this up for later, but just be thinking about this because I'm gonna ask for the round robin, look for some input in a little bit. But if you guys can think about one thing that you guys want to, looking forward to for your directory this year, maybe an idea that you're going to try to implement that can help help somebody else out that's on the webinar today, or just something that you obviously need help with, or something you want to do that maybe I can help you with or point you in the right direction. Feel free to ask that as well. So I'm going to do kind of open that up for discussion in a little bit, and so if you guys can think about what you want to say for that, I'd appreciate it. Carlos, I'll give you a chance to jump in here as well. First, you said you're just configuring your directory. Any, I guess, general quick questions? No, and a lot of questions are not quick, but anything that I can do to help you for just starting out your directory, or you just here to listen? You can jump in on comments or jump in on audio if you want, but. Or just listen along. That's fine too. Just jump in anytime you want, Carlos. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Does anybody have any general discussion? Let's toss it out to everybody before I start talking about just some of the general topics. Anything that any of you guys want to discuss? Anything you did? Any snow you shoveled in the last couple of weeks? Any Christmas party stuff that you went to or planned to go to but didn't? Anything for the holidays? Hope you guys had a good holiday.
I think I missed the holidays. It wasn't on my calendar alert.
It wasn't? Yeah, it was kind of one of those years. I was talking to somebody the other day that, and I think it's true. A lot of times, our lives are framed around events and things and timelines and stuff. And I think for me, we were talking about it, and it doesn't seem like we've been dealing with this COVID stuff for like a year now. I mean, literally, like February, it'll be a year. So it doesn't seem like that because I think our brain I don't have any events to go back to because I didn't do anything, this year. And so it seems like it's gone faster, even though it seemingly has gone slow because nothing's happening. But it does seem like it's gone fast, at least for me. But
yeah, I think we just got used to the new routine, but definitely looking forward to 2021. I had a quick general question about the homepage on, Brilliant Directories or on our site. I mean, we have the default set for, just the instead of the sliding screen, we just use one image. But because we're not, a typical search kind of thing, where we're just, it's more of that matchmaking kind of thing. So people aren't. I don't know. I was just wondering what our options would be. Just kind of brainstorming real quick. Is if we replace that slider with just like a video, or replace the slider with multiple screens, just kind of the messaging about our service. But is there a way to kind of, or should we take off the how to. Right now we said search by topic, but if you're just landing there as a visitor, and I think that's we can piggyback a little bit later on. I think it was on the webinar you were on, or on one webinar where they were talking about you can have a different user experience based on who lands there. The visitor experience can be different as opposed to an unpaid, as opposed to a paid member. Different members level can all have a different experience. Yeah, so that helps because the visual. So in other words, we're not a typical. We're less of a directory than we are a the matchmaking service. So
Right.
would you suggest because that when you scroll down the homepage, especially on a cell phone or any experience, just has a picture of our logo and then search by topic. But if I'm landing there and I want to get matched to a guest or a podcaster or join the directory, I want to join the directory. It's not like a typical directory where people are searching for a handyman service or a car dealership or carpet cleaning company.
Well, you can do more of the call to action type of buttons, I guess. Let me just show you.
I'm thinking maybe the first thing they should see. I'm just looking at other website experiences, related, unrelated, but where we land on a website and you went there from a social media, post or whatever, or an advertisement. And then,
well, we're actually going to get into that, Rich, a little bit today of like landing pages, because realize a lot of times if you're having a specific message for your social media, for example, or you're driving traffic with an ad or some other type of stuff, you may want to link to a page that's not your homepage because you have
right.
a targeted message on that page, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today as well. But if even on the homepage, you may just have more of instead of a search, you just have a call to action kind of buttons. This is exactly what you would be doing, but something like this, because they added this capability in there to do real easy now.
Okay.
Is just have, say, I'm looking to book podcasters, or looking to be on a podcast, click here, or something like that, where you don't search for anything. You basically say it's choose your own adventure, and you're either looking for podcasters or you want to be on a podcast. You click one of these buttons, and then that takes you to a page that talks about how to do that. Maybe it's a page with a search on it with some other content, and or maybe it is the search results with a specific custom header on it.
No, I like that. I just had this aha moment. Sometimes, you're working on a website for so long and then you're kind of the tree in the forest, and all of a sudden you take a couple steps back and you're thinking, wait a minute, it's like a matchmaking, like a dating service, or, match me to whatever, or like Airbnb, I want to list my vacation home, or I want to find a vacation home, right? So in our case, for the directory, what does it say? It just says search by topic. But why am I just looking at a topic, instead of so I like this. We'll talk later, but that was worth it right there. I think we'll change those blue and red buttons as it's kind of there, just saying.
And let me show you. Let me just because some people may not know that this is in the front end. So there used to not be a thing there. It used to just say, I don't know if it was just with buttons or something, but it was only a couple buttons, or it wasn't as easy to do. And I'm not sure why my thing's being slow today. So they added a thing into the design settings. It's on the homepage section right below where you would normally put the search. And if you guys change this, you go to settings and design settings, and then in the design settings tab, it's the second one here once it loads, and you'll want to go to home. And it's right below where you would normally change the homepage stuff. This is going to be painful if it's this slow today. course, I have a bunch of tabs open. It's probably not helping. I got it in order of stuff we're going to talk about to hopefully make it a little bit smoother. But I may be causing some problems with this. But there we go. So go to your homepage tab here, and once that loads with the homepage tab, I'm going to demo it. I'll just demo it on mine as an example of how to do it. But there's a new section on there under the homepage search settings. And it allows you to basically add those 3 buttons a lot easier. You used to have to change the code and change the colors around with the coding for the different color buttons or whatever. But now it's very easy. What you want to do is in the search type. Normally you would have a search type, right? But there's now a hero message with button links. Okay. You can do the old HTML where you add it in there. I think that's what it used to just be, but now it's automated with the button links. And when you turn that on, it then opens up the buttons that you have instead of that search as the buttons. And so I'm going to save this real quick, but I'm going to show you what it would do. So let's demo it for yours, Rich. Let's just say this was,
It'd be probably just like our homepage, our tabs. Be a podcast guest or book a podcast guest.
You guess
If you just use the word guest, people think I'm a guest or visitor at the website.
Yeah, be a podcast guest and then what?
Be a podcast guest or book a podcast guest would be the second button. I guess you could add a third button, find a resource.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to do. Read my mind. So again, you can have these different colors if you want. So let's do primary, info, and success. Again, you guys, you can pick different colors. We'll just have this. I'm just going to go to random pages here because I'm not. This isn't for real. And then this would, let's say, categories. All right. So you put hero message with buttons, you add all that stuff in there, and then you save changes, and then it automatically does that for you. Now you just have to put the code in there, but now it's really easy. You just update that, and it's good to go. So now let me go to the home page again, and I normally just have the global search there, 3 buttons with those 3 actions with those 3 separate colors that I wanted in there, and it's that easy for you to update. Obviously, I'd down or whatever and make it wider, right? If you want the buttons, I have it as a smaller percentage there. So let me go edit that. But it's that simple, right? Those buttons are now there as your call to actions are simple there. Let me widen that out there real quick. So that we'll just put that to 100%. I think that should do it. Questions on that? So that's an option for everybody to do if they want those buttons there. There we go. And then you can just do that. Wow, yeah, into space. It almost equates to be honest, guys, it's almost equivalent to these 3. What that is equivalent to doing, right? It kind of comes down to what calls to action that you want people to take. And so if you could have that search, and then if you wanted that kind of thing, you could actually use these resources there. You don't have to have the icons. You can just have the words or buttons there and just kind of use that, the hero divider for that kind of thing too with the buttons. But
it's a lot more intuitive. Big time. Yeah.
Because now and we've gone over this on other webinars before. It just makes them. You want to do this for the. And I went over this on the webinar with Jason a couple weeks ago, if you guys saw that. But you kind of want this for your join page too, right? When they go to the page, either on the front page or they go to your join page to join, you want them to be able to grab onto something like within a couple seconds and go, yeah, that's the plan I want. Like increased marketing plan. Yep, I'm looking to market my business. I want the marketing one, or I want the exposure plan, or I want to be a guest. I want to be a whatever. So this applies not only to the home page here, but the join page. So I'm going to turn that back off. But and again, you can have that on there, and then you can just hide it, right? So I'm going to go back to that global search. It kind of goes away. But if I come back to that hero message with button links, they're still there. So it's not like they go away, and you can actually transfer it, swap it back pretty quick. I'm just going to change it back to the global search, save it, and should be good to go. I have a tendency to make all these changes, and then I forget to do it after.
And all of a sudden, at a local directory, people are trying to be a podcaster or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is everybody asking to be a podcaster all of a sudden? All right, so there we go. And
Ryan, awesome.
So that's back, but that's something that you guys can do. So great question.
One last question on this: your advice, tips, codes, and marketing. Where was that? Because I'm kind of following along with you on my website as well. So where was that kind of headline or that text?
What text?
The text that you have on the directory toolkit. That was
the wording
right above the buttons.
Oh, that was just the H1. That's the normal header text.
Header on the homepage settings. Okay, I see. The main title H1 or subtitle H2.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Carlos, if you guys can't get the audio working, feel free to reboot and come back in. We'll still be here, Carlos. If you want to do that, then you can jump in. This is all recorded again, so you'll be able to watch it on the replay if you missed a couple minutes. But it shouldn't take too long to reboot if you want to do that for the sound. So feel free to do that at any time if anybody else is listening as well and having any issues. Let's see. So Carlos, just let me know if you're going to reboot, and I'll come back to your question a little bit about talent search directory. I haven't seen anything for talent search, to be honest. I guess honestly, Rich's is probably as close to that as I've seen for talent. Looking for people to join podcasts and stuff. That's some sort of talent, but okay. So anything else from anybody else? Otherwise, I'll kind of jump in here to some of the stuff on BD.
Are you going to talk about today that what was discussed about creating a different user experience based on their membership plan? So when people log in, because I had a person early on that said, I'm a member. I'm logging in.
Let me talk about that real quickly, Rich. It's not really user experience. The only thing that they've done right now is if you go to the main menu design in settings and design settings under general, in the main menu design settings, there is now a public main menu and a members main menu. So this is what they were talking about on the webinar for customization of kind of feature set. Basically, you can have one header for people that are not logged in to talk to about, where you flash up on your site, like click here to log in, or upcoming features, or why you should subscribe, or whatever. You could FAQ, contact us. You could have all sorts of stuff on the membership stuff to get them to sign up. And then you can have an entirely different main menu that once they log in, it's all that stuff just disappears, and it basically says you could have a menu that says post content, and then it would say post a video, post a or photo album or whatever, post a podcast, and then another one could say member resources, where it has members only pages that they can only get to once they log in or whatever. So you basically customize that for you would just basically make a different menu. You'd clone a menu and the main menu, and then you just pick it from the pull down list here of what you're going to show once they're logged in, vice when they're not logged in. Is that what you're talking about? But that's the only thing that they've kind of talked about. The other options you can do is that you can change stuff to only show if somebody's logged in or not. Let me show you an example of that real quick. So here's a local dental staffing network, and they've got basically dental professionals that are for hire for they know when they're overbooked for a certain day, or days that they're off their other job, their part-time job, that they're kind of available for hire if you're overage, and they just put a listing on here for whatever rate that they want per hour, right? And so here's an example of this. I'm not logged in, as you can see. So what happens is some of these people have their resume on the actual listing. So this one has their resume, but because I'm not logged in, I don't actually see the link to the resume. I see something different because I'm not logged in. And so now I see a login or join to see the resume, and I can't see the resume, and this takes me to the login page. And then as soon as I log in, if I was logged in, I would not see that. I would see the actual link to view resume because now I'm logged in. So you can do stuff like that where you're changing the user experience based on whether you're logged in or not, on what either the page you're seeing or the content on the page. So those are a couple different ways that you can change the user experience on there. Is that kind of what you're getting at, or do you have a more other specific question? Okay, I don't know if Rich dropped off there or not. All right, so what I want to talk about this week is, and I don't remember if Rich had this problem or not. I don't see Deborah on here today, but we had gone in and we had an issue. It was really an issue, but it's just the profile cover photos were not working as I would have expected them to work. So we got the working with the developers at BD is able to figure out a workaround for this, and want to kind of share that with everybody today, so that you guys know where those settings are at, so you guys can go change those if you want to change the way this is operating as well. So this is the profile cover photo. Most of you already normally probably know about the profile and photo and logo. This is your personal one, and then the logo of the company. And then this profile cover normally goes over your public listing. So if I go to my public listing on this page, that profile cover is kind of like the Facebook cover page for your directory, and it would go like full width, like up here, big rectangle here. It's a profile cover photo. And that's where it would normally go. And so let me just walk you through how this normally does, and then I'm going to walk you through where to make the changes, and then you guys can see if you want to edit this for your directory, because I think it enhances it a little bit. So the problem with this on the profile cover right now, I'm just going to upload a really large image. So even though I have 1140 by 200 pixels, and that is set in the image settings, and I'll show you where that is at in a second here. But even though I can upload as big an image as I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna upload an image. It's like 3,000 by 5,000 pixels, I think. Let me load it up here. And then what I'm going to do is you're going to the full thing. So this is like a 3,000 by 5,000 full, like just straight from the stock photo place image. And we want it downsized to that square 1140 by 200 pixel thing for the actual profile cover. So this is what it looks like once it loads. You notice it has that square box, right, illuminated there. And if I grab it with the little arrows, I can move it up and down, and seemingly that looks good. It's just going to crop that particular rectangle to put on the scene. The only problem is that I can't really change the size of it or do a smaller part of the photo. It only goes up or down because it's set as the full max image. And then the other problem is that I can actually highlight the entire image and upload that as my profile picture. So I'm going to upload that real quick. I'm going to show you on the refresh here what ends up happening. And so the problem with that, the way it's kind of configured right now out of the box, is that you really have no control as the admin on how big that picture is. So if they figure out that they can drag and drop that entire image in there, in that whole vertical stuff, this is what ends up happening, where your directory could potentially look very incongruent for visitors looking at it, or people could take advantage of it really, and I guess put a really big ad on there, but which could be good and could be bad. I mean, some people may like this, but a lot of people don't, because now I can't control that. Like, it's all up to the individual and how they upload it, and that to me doesn't look very good. Right? That's not a header. It's not a profile cover photo. But I was able to do that out of the box, how it was set up. So I'm gonna show you guys where to edit this, and then show you what it looked like after we edit it, and see if that's something that you guys that would be helpful for you guys. I know there's a lot of people that were concerned about that functionality over time and wasn't doing what they really wanted to do. Where you need to,
Right.
Again, you guys can. I'm gonna put this in the chat, guys, as well when we're done.
I don't know if
I
I don't know if other people are hearing like some feedback or reverb, but I don't know if some people turn off their microphone. I'm hearing like some feedback or reverb or something, but
Yeah, I'm hearing the same.
Okay,
thing.
yeah,
maybe if everybody mutes their microphone, or maybe I don't know, Ryan, on your end, there's a loop
I
or
can get it. Yeah, I was gonna blame you, but
I just muted my microphone. I'm gonna mute it again.
yeah. Actually, I think it was you. No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. We got everybody muted now. So again, you guys can unmute yourself if we need to get back in there. All right. Thanks, Rich. I'm sorry. That crossed my mind a second ago, and I apologize. Yeah, that cleared it up a lot. So let me go in here and show you guys where that's at. You want to go into the toolbox and widget manager. And then we talked about, it was the profile image. So once that loads with the widget manager, you just want to go to the profile, just type in profile image into the search bar. And it'll come up with that profile image upload. And this is the widget that we want to customize. So just go ahead and go to Actions and Customize. And then you're going to want to go to the JavaScript code, because this is where it's at. So we're going to scroll all the way down to the 900s. You'll never find this if you weren't looking for it. 937. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the zoom on wheel to true. We're going to change the box resizable to true. That is good. And we're going to change the min crop box width to 0. And then we're going to add an aspect ratio. That's locked down right there. That little // just basically takes the code out, so it's not really there. We're going to change it to a 285:1, basically that rectangle size. And that's what we're going to do. So again, aspect ratio 285/1. We're going to change the zoom on wheel to true and the min crop box width to 0. And I'm just going to grab that, and I'm going to add that to the chat here, hopefully, and so you guys can have that if you guys want to do this code. Let me make sure I can paste it in here. All right, there you go. So there's the code, and we're going to go ahead and save that. And I'm going to go back in and do the exact thing that I just did before with the image, just to kind of show you guys the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and change the cover. I'm going to choose that exact same image. And then I'll show you the differences of what that allows you to do with those 3 changes. Once I can find my image again. Should have put it at the top. There we go. We're pretending it's Christmas still. Got our holiday box. All right, so now once this uploads, it kind of looks the same initially. Okay, looks pretty similar, right? But now we can move this up and down like we did before. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I did not refresh the page. I'm like, that looks eerily similar. I didn't refresh the code, so give me a second. Apologize. That was about a demo gone wrong there. All right, there we go. And it may still be a demo going wrong. We'll see. If this doesn't work, it's just taking really slow for the refresh today. I'll come back to this at the end. Working on another client site, so I'll have to upload her. Oh, I'll load hers real quick if I don't get that. Maybe just didn't save yet. There we go. I'm not sure. We'll come back to this. I'm not sure what that is. I'll just briefly explain it here for somebody's, if they're watching on the replay here, just in case they don't want to go to the end of the video here. I'll try this again. What it basically allows you to do when you turn that scroll wheel on, what it allows you to do when you load the image, you can use the wheel scroll on your mouse to zoom in and zoom out on the image, so you can kind of blow it up or reduce it. So it allows you to zoom in on that. And then by putting that aspect ratio in there, it allows you to not be able to drag the top and the bottom images up and down. It kind of maintains that aspect ratio. And then you can, by doing the min crop width to 0, it doesn't do that full width box anymore. It allows you to just kind of drag and drop, or drag it and crop it in that same aspect ratio on a smaller part of the image, if that makes sense. So those three things, you can zoom in and zoom out with your mouse wheel, keep it at that aspect ratio so you can't do full width, and then it allows you to do a smaller portion of the image as well, just with a click and drag. So we'll try to come back to that at the end. It does work. Trust me, once it saves there. I'm just not sure why it's doing that on the slow stuff today. Let's see. One of the other things, while we'll just talk about some email, some of the updates that they made for the email is some of the forms used to have an email tab, and what you used to have to do is to copy of the contact us form, and you had to use that for anything that you wanted to send an email, because some of the other forms did not have that tab. And let me open up the contact us form to show you what that is if you guys did not know what that was. Once you're in that contact form, in this actions here, in the edit form settings, it had a special column in here in the tabs that none of the other forms had. Only the contact us form had it. It was this one right here. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to send an email after you submit the form, and with a customized template to the submitter. You could then send that email to admin as well, to a specific admin email address, which could be different than your main website email address. And then you're allowed to have a custom template for that as well. So it had basically email settings. After a form is submitted, people would get an email response from the transactional email system through SendGrid from your BD site, and it had that. So you always had to edit that contact us form. So if you had another form, or if you forgot to use the contact us form, that just was not there on the tab, and so it causes a little bit of frustration, because why not be on every form? And now it is on every form, and and that is new. So I was kind of alert you guys to that. And to show you that, let's say we'll just go into this listing test one, for example. It has nothing to do with the contact us. If you edit that particular form. And again, this should be live for you guys as well. Should have already updated. As soon as you go into any form now, into those actions and edit the form settings, now for any form submission that you do, you can alert, again, the person that's submitting it, or send an alert to the admin as well that the form is submitted. So in theory, and you could have, so there it is, that tab is now available for everybody, and it's just off because normally you're not going to want to know that somebody submitted a form on their directory. But now you actually can. So there's probably some use cases of this where you could utilize that. But let's say that somebody started filling out their profile and they saved their contact details form in their profile. You could set it up that you could get alerted to your admin email that somebody just saved or sent in that form, for that. And then you could call them and go, "Hey, John, notice you're filling out your profile. Can I help you with anything else or have any questions?" And you can actually kind of walk them through there because that they're actually filling it out. Now, that's probably not realistic, to be honest, because now every time everybody updates or submits that form, you're getting an email in your inbox that they're submitted that form. But maybe it's not your main inbox. Maybe you fill in that admin thing and it's more of I don't know, say a spam box, but just a box that gets all the notifications that people are updating. And then you can just kind of go see who's been updating it, and or if you happen to be in the office or available at that particular time, and you go in there and you see somebody just updated it a couple minutes ago, give them a call, and you just bounce in and do that once in a while when you have time. So you still potentially could use that. I just want to let you know that was there now, available for any form. It's not just the Contact Us form. So hopefully some of you guys can think about some use cases for that. Maybe we can brainstorm on that, or maybe that's something of use for you if you're watching, that you can help out with your marketing or onboarding or other use. One of the other interesting things that they opened up, and I think it's going to be an oft overlooked one if you didn't catch it on the webinar, if you're not a developer or you're not using all these settings a lot, is they added 2 unique items in here that make it very powerful for you to do page development. And Rich, we were talking, asking about landing pages a second ago. This is very powerful for landing pages as well. So I want to kind of show you what these 2 new settings are and then what they can do for you. So in the content web page builder, if you're making a custom page, there is now this new, in the display options tab, it's going to default to the page info, but in the display options, there's this disable default CSS style sheets. And this is actually pretty cool a function, because you can turn it on and off per page and turn off all the default custom CSS. Because what happened when people were trying to add in landing page HTML or some other page code from somewhere else, it would always get distorted or look a little weird. And that's because there's usually some common CSS classes or some common other IDs, stuff like that it's already in the default CSS of the website. So although it looks like it's a blank page, it's preloading some of that CSS variables in there so you can make easier design, and it's just kind of inherent, I guess, styling baggage on the website. And they never looked good because then you'd have to go figure out what was causing it. There's some CSS, you'd have to go find it and then turn that off and then rename the one on the other page to reappear with a new name because you just turned the other one off. And it was nobody in their right mind normally, unless your developer is going to go through the hassle. You just couldn't do it. Now you can, with one click of the button, turn that off, and then you're starting out with a clean slate in here for your CSS. Whatever's in here should show up pretty good. And then it's going to tack on the header and footer and the menu and all that stuff basically wrap the content you have now. And of course, you could turn all of that off and go to a blank slate page totally. Now, one of the other things that they did to kind of do the same thing is on the page info. There is now in the page type there used to just be single web page. It's just a normal custom page. You used to do a custom post search result or member search result. Then they added the same thing for post search result. And then this week, there is a brand new custom widget as web page. And if you select that, it gets rid of everything and basically says, what widget are you rendering on this page? And we're only going to show that. So now you can kind of make custom web page content in a widget and just instantly just pull up that widget and display that as a particular URL automatically through this. So you're basically without having to go grab the widget, grab the code, make a new web page, put the widget in the page, turn all the custom CSS off. This basically does all that stuff for you. You basically say custom widget as a web page. I want this widget. Now all the widget codes are here. You just enter in the name of the page and voila, save it, and it's now a URL for your particular site. Okay. Any questions on that?
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, Ryan, I didn't realize this was a new feature. So you helped me with this a week or so ago, and I've implemented it on all of our membership plans, and it's awesome. It completely changes the dashboard experience. And instead of having to go in and, change every membership plan and change every, setting and on.
You're just talking about these, right? These are not new. The disabled default CSS style sheet is new, and then this other one is new. But these other ones have always been there, but they haven't been utilized that much.
Yeah, but like when you were just showing in kind of like the drop down in the membership dashboard, or at least that's where we're using it. So we created a custom page, then did the CSS to the widget, and then that created a drop down in the dashboard for each of our membership plans, and then I can just flip the switch. And it completely changes the dashboard appearance on the content we want to put in there.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's something a little bit different. So what he's mentioning is, so he just made a widget, right, for content, and then in the membership plan, once you make the widget for the content in the membership plan, there's a setting basically to say what widget you want member to a gold member plan, and you get some extra capabilities, or you make a widget sent a video or of links or whatever you want. Let me just go ahead and edit the premium membership here. Whatever you want for that, you would change the content in the widget, and then in the membership dashboard section, once it loads, you're gonna be able to pick a specific widget.
Yeah, while it's loading, we have ours selected for the one is has like a whole, we created kind of like a 4-block where they can click on each of those things, and another one has a video.
Right.
We can flip it each time.
Yeah. So you make the widget first, and then you come in here on the dashboard page down here in the custom dashboard content, and you would just grab any particular custom widget that you've made, and then it will show either in the dashboard header or in the dashboard footer underneath all of the other content that would normally be on the dashboard, so above it or below it. And technically, I mean, you could actually add it in the middle, right? If you edit the code somewhere, but this without having to edit the code or whatever, you can just put it at the top and the bottom, and that works 99% of the time for anybody. But yeah, so both of those things. But what I want to show you today is just some examples of some pages or landing pages that you can make in BD. So here's one that I made. You guys can go take a look at it yourself. It's just demo Mobilize on the dashboard, but this is on a BD site, just with everything turned off, and you just have a custom web page content in the website. So it's on just a normal web page under your directory, and you can have any landing page, any look or feel that you want by putting other HTML in there. You're basically kind of bypassing the normal BD stuff and just making your own, honestly, your own website, like template and versions and stuff, just using the storage, right, and the content to add your own, web page content. Here's another one. If you go to demo nice page, it's on my directory toolkit on my BD site. Here's a custom web page design. right? It doesn't look like BD, but it's on my BD site, and you can have any type of design or look that you want on landing pages, right? And then load back right into your BD site just using the same storage and everything. So
looks like a lot.
I just want to kind of go ahead.
That looks way cool. Now, on the other one, you had go back one or whatever. You had pricing, like some items in there with prices assigned to it. Yeah, product list.
Yeah, this is just an example page, but yeah.
What could somebody order? Is there a way where they could click and create a shopping cart? They can order stuff.
No. I mean, yeah. Sorry, this is probably a bad example. This is just an example of a page I grabbed to put on here just to kind of show you guys what you could do on your site just by grabbing the code. It doesn't like add a shopping cart in there, so I apologize if it made it look like that. But you could have to the back to your BD site or your page or whatever for the product, right? To buy it from you under the normal guide. Whatever. It's just more of adding content or landing page or whatever. And you'd probably want to obviously brand it to make it look like yours or whatever. These are cut and paste of example sites, right? So it's kind of up to you on what you want to purpose or landing page vice look and feel, but you could add your header or footer wrap around on the content, right? It'll have the header here and it'll just have this in between, right? The key to this is that you turned off all of the normal formatting, right? And just turned on the other stuff. So I just kind of want to demo those for you guys, just kind of show it's possible. But that's what that made it a lot easier to do. That was always a pain before, and so a lot of people don't realize what that little small change that they did actually opened up for people. So,
but for those items like for sale per se, you could can you, as the site admin or whatever, you could create them as the website digital products for people to make a purchase.
Right, exactly. So that that would just link to a page on your.
But it would kind of need to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would need to be like the website digital product where they can actually pay through the directory through your Stripe, whatever you have set up, as opposed to
it would link to something like this. So instead of every one of those things, and again, that's just an example. It doesn't have to be a product. That could have been a feature that you're highlighting and linking to a page that talks about the feature, but you would want it to go to something like this, where that button for that $60 or whatever, right, would go after they click on that. It would go to your product page for that particular item, right, and then they would buy it from here, right, from that next page.
Okay, I guess we've never really done the product feature, because for members, when they use the product feature, it has to go off-site to their to somewhere, Shopify or Amazon or whatever. Right?
Yeah,
but just for the admin person, we can.
So that's the difference between for those of you who are new. There's two different types of products. There's a digital download, which this is what this is basically you could sell anything. It could be digital, could be a t-shirt, you could buy groceries with it if you wanted to, if you're selling it, right? But it's basically, they click it there, but it's using their member account. It's already got their credit card on file because they have a membership with you. They click there and they just buy it, and it charges their account, right? Okay. For that. And then there's the other one, which actually is this one, is just the pass through, like would be for your clients, where they don't buy it instantly off from your site. When they click on that purchase now, it takes them off, to a purchase page somewhere else on your client's site or your site somewhere else, right? That has that item for sale. And then, so like this one's going off site, because it's a subscription item. It's going off to buy that, and then it comes back to my directory after they buy it, right? So you can those are the two differences. One, they just buy it through the credit card that's already part of their membership, and then or you can use it for your clients or for you to go off-site, where they just add a link and then it goes to another checkout page of their choice for the client.
Now, when you says it goes to another checkout page, yeah, it could be Amazon, Shopify, or Eventbrite or whatever to purchase tickets. But you said it goes back to the page to the Brilliant Directories page only because it opened a new tab, right?
No, so this one does open a new tab, but as soon as they complete the transaction on this, and again, depending on which shopping cart you're using, the redirect URL goes back to my site. After they circle. And it depends on how you have it set up for the card or what shopping thing you're using. Some of them would just go dead end and say thank you for your purchase, and you'd have to close it out. But you can set them up either way. All right. So that's an interesting new one. And then another one is private member chat. So the private member chat is not new, but the ability to add it to a widget in the sidebar is new. And so I just want to point that out to you guys to show you how that would work. So Frank's not here today, but I'm on his thing on my directory, and I just want to use his as an example. And this is the widget we're going to talk about today, the private member chat. This is the new one, Bootstrap theme module, private member chat. Just type in private into your widget manager and you'll find this widget, but it's module private member chat. And then what you want to do, what I did to demo it here, just go to your toolbar and sidebar manager. And then once that loads up, go to I'm doing it on the member profile page because that's where I'm going to demo it on Frank's site here, right in the sidebar. And you want to go to the member profile page and then just, again, search for private, grab that private member chat there and just drag it over. And you'll want to save that in there for private member chat. So that's what I did. And when I refresh this here, it's not going to show up when I do that. And there's a couple reasons for that. And I just want to kind of, as I'm demoing this, I want to show you what you would need to do to turn it on for you. That private member chat, first off, is a add-on. So if you do not have the VIP add-ons or the add-on for that private member chat, you'll want to go to Brilliant Directories and grab that for yourself because you need the add-on in order to do that. But even though I added it to the sidebar, you notice it doesn't show up. And that's because I need to go in there and actually edit the settings to allow me to have that turned on. So what you do is go to the settings and general settings in your back end of your directory. And once that loads, there's an integrations tab that has the settings for this. Now it's kind of a misnomer there because it's not really an integration. Really, it's still inside a BD setup. But since I think they just added it there because that's where all the other Facebook chat and all that stuff is at. So it just made the most sense to put that there. But if you go to integrations tab and scroll down, it is right here, private member chat messages. And even if you add it to the sidebar, it's not going to show up unless you turn this to yes, enable chat messages. So you'll want to go there and enable that. All right. And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to refresh it. And I'm still not going to see it, even though I turned it on and I added it to the sidebar. And the reason I'm still not going to see it is because just like a lot of other features in the BD website, that is a membership level configured add-on or capability. And so you don't need to have that capability or the ability to do that for every membership level. And because you don't have to have it for every membership level, you basically have to turn it on for all the membership levels to be able to do that. So where you need to is you would go to your particular membership plan. I'm in the developer services account here because that's where Frank's at. But you want to go to the membership level where you want to turn that on. And then you'll want to go to the profile page and then scroll down and you will see under there, the page display settings, the enable private chat messages. And because that new widget is using that, you will enable that. Now, one of the things that I want to mention here is that if you enable that, it says the members will receive direct chat messages, which will replace members receiving the direct leads. So let me explain that real quick. If I go to Frank's thing right here and I click send message right now, it is that button, that send message is using the direct lead messaging system where I have to fill in a form, right, for him to get a message from me. It's just a form. If as soon as you turn that on for that particular membership level, that you turn on the direct messaging, and I'm going to go ahead and save that now that I just talked about that. So enable private member chat. I'm going to save that on for his group. And now I'm going to refresh. I'm going to see two things on here. First, I'm going to see that now that I've done all three of those things, I've added it, I've turned it on for the entire system, and I've added it for his membership level. I'm going to see that new sidebar widget here, chat with my directory guy. And so what this is what it allows you to do is it allows you to directly chat with that person right here without any particular widget or know that it's there or send message. It's just very, and where you can just chat with them and you can add images and stuff like that. So this is the new feature. If you guys want to turn that on and availability, I just kind of walked you through the steps on that. And again, this is all recorded if you want to go back and watch it again. But it allows them to send that message directly from the sidebar because you added that new widget to the sidebar. So now the other part is I was just talking about, now that we have that private message enabled, if I go hit send message here, again, it's going to go to that private message version instead of the form, because I turned on for that membership level that they get direct messages instead of the form. And you know, now what happens is when they send this, they will just get an email saying somebody from Directory Toolkit has just emailed you, click here to respond. And then it opens up that chat trail in their back end of their dashboard so they can kind of see all the people that they've been chatting with. And also, which is fairly recent, they can send images back and forth during the chat messages as well. So that is available to you for the chat, even if you did not want that sidebar thing there. So you could remove that sidebar if that was taking up too much real estate for you guys. Don't want that there. That's fine. You can still use the private messaging for the send message. And then if you still wanted the form, you notice I have that turned on as well, where I still have the send a message form in the sidebar. So even if I have the private message and it kind of replaced that direct message form button with that chat message, I can still utilize and have them send a direct message to them on their page by putting that form in the sidebar as well. And that one is, let me just show you that, is the member contact form is that. So if it's not on your directory and you want that form there as well, because you're using private message chat, but you still want the form on there, or maybe you are just using the direct message, you don't have the chat add-on, but you want that form to show up in the sidebar as well, you can put that member contact form in the sidebar. So not sure if that's exciting for anybody or not, but that's a new functionality that just got turned on.
Hey, Ryan. Ryan? Yeah, does that chat, that just goes from that particular member to the directory admin, is that correct? Or can that be? It
goes from you because you're logged in,
yeah,
right? Or I'm logged in. So, and I'll show you how this works right now. So,
I didn't know if you go from member to member. I guess if you had two members on that same level that had the chat.
Oh yeah. Yes,
okay.
Yes. It goes from whoever signed in to whoever you're emailing. So you can go back and forth between members, between you and members, between members and you. It basically, this turns on for the membership being chatted to, right? Okay. So if you're a free member, I think this is your question. If you're a silver member and it's a gold feature, like the silver doesn't have this on the sidebar and you're a silver member, you can still chat a gold member because it's the capability of having that, be able to receive it from the gold members perspective is what that is. Not that you can't send it because you're only a silver member.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say we missed you on the webinar. Hope you are doing well. We are doing a chat demo with your account. There you go. All right, so I'm also going to I'm going to include I'm going to include an image here. See if I can pick something appropriate. He's going to get a
inappropriate's good too. Yeah,
inappropriate.
There's been a lot of that thing going around.
He's all about rocket. He likes rocket ships. So let's see. Where did that go? There we are.
Hey, while you're looking for that, I did that feature we were talking about at the beginning, updating the homepage. It not only looks way awesome, but it's much more functional, much more intuitive, and yeah, it's way cool. That's a cool rocket ship there.
That is. Frank loves his rocket ships. So there we go. I successfully sent my message. Now I'm going to go to my dashboard. And I'll show you what that looks like. Oh, there we go. It actually went there automatically. So that's pretty cool because I didn't even do anything. So I just sent the message. So now it's gonna show up under. That's interesting. It should be right there for messages, and I'm not sure why that's not rendering properly. So I'm gonna have to see if that's a bug or something I did. But anyway, it'll normally be right here for manage messages or manage my chat or whatever. You notice it has like a little one there, but that's actually a recommendation sitting there. So I'll take a look at that. But it should just be right there where it's the chat messages, just like where it says manage leads.
Try hitting the go back because you already have it open.
Yeah, it could be. But what I'll do on the messaging thing, it'll just have a stream of your messages of who you're chatting with. So if you have a chat message per person, or you have a bunch of chats with a bunch of different people, it'll just be a laundry list of all the chats or whatever of people you've been chatting with. And so all you have to do is click on that chat message and it'll go to that chat string. It's basically one chat string per person. It's not like you're going to open up conversations or whatever. It just basically goes in one big long string there of everything that you've been talking about. And then you can just go back and forth with the chat, right? In your system. And he's going to get an email that I talk to him. And then if he responds, it would show up in here under, with his icon that he said something and it'd say my director guy, and then it'll just have his conversation there. So he's going to go back and forth. Cool. But that's what that chat does if you guys have not seen that. And then one of the other items that I'm going to see if that goes away. Hope this is a positive one because I'm doing this live. Oh, it's Mark. All right. I already accepted it. All right. So that should be good. I don't know what's happening there. So if anybody else wants to log in and see if that looks weird on theirs, if you're using that, let me know. But otherwise, that's where it will show up there where you can see the messages. So that's that. And then for the actual listings, you can now add images for reviews as well. I think we talked about that before. It's fairly new. And so when you're adding a review, you can now add up to 5 photos on a review. So if you're reviewing your restaurants, you can now add 5 pictures of the menu or your awesome to-go order that you got in a review as well. So that's fairly new. Let's see. One of the other things and this is kind of a smaller one, but maybe interesting for anybody if they want to edit this for their webpage. Before the join and about stuff widgets, you could just have text in there only. It would kind of strip out or wouldn't let you have, or you could put HTML code in there, but you couldn't do widgets. Like if you put in a widget code, it would strip it out or just say widget and it wouldn't look good or whatever. But now in the about and join sections for those, just the open content, you can now add widgets in there. So you can kind of customize some code and without having to redo a bunch of stuff where you're adding or removing content. Let's say it's a video or you want to swap out the video for some other wording or whatever. Now it'll accept the widget stuff, and you can kind of hot swap them, I guess. It's not really in a pull down, I don't think. Let me go check it here. But it does allow the widget code, whereas before it kind of stripped it out and would not allow them to do that. So let me go to the About Join Offer, click the Edit Settings. Yeah. So the bottom line is they kind of added all that other stuff that they've added for the editors in here as well, where you can pick different icons and stuff like that, insert video, and so it's a lot more user friendly now. But it also, because they upgraded it here for the Farala editor for this one, it now accepts the widget code as well. So just as an aside, if you guys are looking to do that. One thing that they went over on the webinar, I'll just go over for you guys here, maybe a review for some of you guys. But let's say I have this comes in handy for potentially a lot of things, like for feature sets or whatever. Let's say I have feature 1, feature 2, and feature 3. Normally, if you have these items in there, what you can do is do the ordered list, right? And that looks okay, but it doesn't look that cool. What you now can do is you can insert icons in front of those items, and because these are icons now, you can actually highlight those and change the actual color. So let's say that's included in that one. Let's say this one's not included. Let's change that one to, I think there's an X. There we go. That one's not included, and we're going to change that one to red. Okay, and then we're gonna bold that just so it stands out a little bit, and then we're gonna make that a little bit bigger. Now, normally that would be cool, but you got all these bubbles in there, as you see here. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. You have all these bubbles, which looks kind of unsightly. Now they've also added the no bullet list. So what you can do is you can make a bulleted list, so it's in order, add some icons, color them, and then remove the list. So it's just the whatever icon you put in front of whatever you want. So kind of a cool feature that they added in there. It makes it a little bit easier for everybody to kind of add some additional content in there. And then just as an aside, just remember you can use HTML in your menus as well. So let's say you want to add that in your menu, you can kind of do something like on any of these editors like this, just grab that code that you see for the feature one there. So let's say that list item basically between the LI and the LI, you can grab that code there and then throw that in your menu for a particular pricing menu or something on your checkout. And it's going to show you that particular item in there. Just be careful about highlighting stuff in there and then copying and pasting. You notice it's missing part of the code in there. So try to, if you're going to do that, go from the LI to the LI. That's what you want to do. But that's an option that you can potentially get some cool looking code there and add some check boxes or whatever to your menu or your checkout page as well. So those are a couple of different items there. This kind of has nothing that I'm showing you there has nothing to do with the fact that you can add widgets in here, but those are a couple items that they went over last time, something new. And then a couple new items just in conversations with BD. And again, I'm not going to hold them to this if they end up not doing it, but they said that there's been a lot of requests, not only from me, but from everybody else wanting to add attachments to forms. Because right now, just for your information, the only place you can add an upload attachment is in the additional details form for that CV resume type thing. And so that's the only form you can do that. Even though it's kind of available as a pull down for a file upload on any form that you do, it doesn't work because it's missing kind of some back end functionality. So they're actually looking at adding that in the future, so you can add a form upload type of aspect into any particular form and not just have it on that one. So hopefully that is sooner rather than later on that one, but that would be cool if they can do that, but they're looking at doing that. All right. I don't know if this is a new feature. Have any of you guys sent newsletters from your BD site at all recently or at all? Or
Not yet.
okay.
What's a newsletter?
Well, it's a newsletter. I don't know.
Is there a tutorial on that?
Let me show you. I'm gonna demo this. I'm just gonna show you another site because I'm not logged into one right now that has, because I don't send it out through BD either. Can you guys see the screen there?
Yes.
Okay. So this is from another client that has sent out a couple of them. And I'm not sure if you got a lot of people. I didn't realize it had this capabilities. I'm not using it. But if you start sending out newsletters, they now have a kind of a dashboard of sorts there of deliverability stuff that used to not be there, at least not that I'm aware of. I don't remember them even talking about this. So maybe it's something hopefully I'm not stealing their thunder for next week's webinar if it's that new. But if you make an email newsletter and it now adds it to a new thing here, like after you make the template, it's going to add it to the screen and it'll say send now. And there's a couple different options. And then after you send that campaign, it's going to show it as a campaign sent. So you can now see what you've sent in the past where you used to not be able to do that. And the cool thing now is that you can see the total size of the list you sent, who you sent it to. Like these could be actual contact tags. So we talked about this before in previous weeks. Where you set it up as which contact tags you sent it to, and then the total list size of all those different contact tags loaded together. You can click here to see which template you actually sent out. You can tell when you sent it. And then the cool thing is you can now see campaign stats that are updated every 5 minutes. So you can see this was my demo, but you can see that you sent one, it delivered one, and you had one that was open. So it doesn't get too granular on that, but you can at least see your deliverability stats and see what percentage of people opened your email to kind of compare which emails were better. There's not really a lot of comparison stuff, but at least it's a lot better than just throwing stuff out into the Netherland and not knowing whether it got received or anybody like, hello, I sent it to 100 people. Did anybody get that thing? I got no responses. So at least it provides some cursory information now that used to not be there. So they're really starting to kind of turn it on a little bit more towards the email marketing system than it was previously. So anybody have any questions on that? So let me show you where that's at in the back end here. If you guys go into send a newsletter. Ryan? Yeah, good.
Just a quick dumb question on those check marks. I think we've done it before, but can those be added to like the pricing tables, whatever, instead of just right now it's just an X or a
not
really check marks.
You can.
Icons.
But that's what I was saying. You have to put the HTML code in there. It's not like what you see is what you get editor in the menu. So you'd have to go make it the first. That's why I said go make it in one of those first. Grab the code and then go put that code in the menu, and it should work
within the menu of the pricing table.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Thanks.
Yep. So now when you send a newsletter, I'm gonna do I'll do a couple demos. We kind of went over this before, but I'm gonna do this for you guys. I'm just gonna go to the membership thing. I'm gonna make a fake membership real quick. Or a fake member, I guess, and then I'll show you how to do this and make a different smart tag, and then I'm gonna kind of show a newsletter just to kind of demo what I was talking about there. So I'm gonna pick this as a upload test group, and I always recommend if anybody's uploading via CSV file, I always recommend doing an upload test group where you can upload it to there and be able to look at that stuff ahead of time before you move it and conjoin it with your live listing. All right, so test company, we'll stick that as a product and service provider, and I'll go ahead and make that. Okay. So now I have a member in there, and I have it as the group. And once you do that, you can now, we talked about this before, you can make smart lists from different results. So I'm going to go ahead and search for test, because I made that test company. And so I want to make a smart group of anything that has the word test in it. And I may have another one in here. There we go. Toby signed up, so his stuff's there. So here we go. So there's my one test company. I'm going to go ahead and make a smart list from this. I'm going to call this smart list test. And so now anybody that has, the test in the name is going to show up on that list, and it'll automatically update that later. So if somebody else signs up or with the word test in there, like it'll just add them to that list in that group. And now that I have shows, it's not in the member section, it's now in the email smart list, I have one person in the test membership group. And you can do that for a bunch of other things, do different search criteria. We did this in a previous webinar where we selected members that have not posted a product or done a product post form. So there's 55 people that have not posted a product on my site. So maybe I want to send an email to those 55 people to tell them to post something on my site. But this is the one we're going to demo here with the test. So that's my one group. So let's go to the send newsletter. And now that I have a send newsletter, what you always want to do is go make the template first. So if you're doing the January newsletter, you would go create a new template, or maybe one you already have in there and clone it. But you would make that January newsletter email template first, and then you go send the newsletter. So it may not be, maybe a little bit counterintuitive. You're not going to make it here. You make the template first, and then you send the template with the newsletter. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to call this the test newsletter. And I'm going to grab just a random template that I'm going to send out as a newsletter, because I didn't really. There we go. Test email. That sounds good. So that's the email I'm going to send. Again, that was the email template you would have made ahead of time. And then right here has all of the contact tags of who submitted what forms. You can do specific account status, and then it has all of your membership plans with the people in those membership plans here. And then at the bottom, if you've made smart lists with those tags, it also has the smart list to include. And so now that one I just demoed and made right there with me, that test account one, that is, I'm going to check that, and that's who I'm going to send this newsletter to. So now you hit save email newsletter. There's a couple other settings here that we won't go into right now, but you're going to save that email newsletter. Now there's another, it's not going to send that anymore. It says it's scheduled the email and it's saved. Well, where that's at now is when I go to that send a newsletter item, it's going to have my email newsletter in there instead of just going straight to that create newsletter thing. I'm now at that other screen that I kind of showed you. And then if you wanted to create a new one, you'd have to go up here now to create that new email newsletter. But now I have that one email newsletter. I have it at the test@test.com, and that's not a real email. Obviously, if it is, I pity the poor fool who is test@test.com, because I'm sure their inbox is full. But what I'm going to do is you can edit it off, obviously after the fact, but I'm going to go ahead and send now. So you can make these campaigns ahead of time. Let's say you want a specific thing on January, February, March, April, and you've got a week here. Just knock out, go crazy, do all your monthly newsletters for the entire year, and just stick them in here. It'll automatically save those smart lists in here, and you could just on January 1st hit send, February 1st send, and it'll just automatically do that. So that's the cool thing. It kind of schedules it out here so you can do that. So I'm going to hit send now, and it's going to just confirm that I want to send that. I'm going to go yes, and then it has sent it, and it's going to bounce probably, I'm assuming, eventually once it gets sent, because I'm definitely not going to get read. Maybe it will. That'd be cool if somebody's actually at test.test.com. We'll see if they respond. But anyway, now it'll go here, and it'll take a little bit of time, obviously, to say whether it bounced or not. But it kind of has a stat thing here on the newsletters that's pretty cool. Any questions on that? All right, two more items kind of that have come up over the holidays in case you guys missed it. There is now not really a big deal for maybe a bigger deal for Canadian or maybe European people, but maybe anybody who's doing an internet or across the country thing for states. But there's now an ability to add different tax levels for different locales. So I know some states require you to, charge sales tax for online memberships. Michigan, where I'm at, does not. Hopefully, it does not for you because those are pain. Canadian has GST, I think, or just some of those other taxes in Europe. For UK, have a lot of taxes for those highly taxed states or countries. But you can now change that in finance and payment settings. And so just go to finance and payment settings. And then in the upper box here, there's a new button called tax and VAT settings. So what you can do, and they went over this on another webinar as well with BD, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this, but here's all the tax VAT rules by location. And what you basically do is you just create a new tax rule on there, and it can be different for different locations. So you can have different things for different countries. You can apply it to all countries, apply it to specific countries. Once you're in that country, let's say you are in Canada and you're going to charge taxes in Alberta. And Alberta taxes has a tax rate of 20%. And then the rule order is primary or secondary. And what that is it basically determines whether it comes off the top or if it's additive, if that makes sense. So if it's a 20% tax on $100, they're going to be charged $120. So it's going to be 100 plus a 20. If it's the secondary, then I believe that's where it's below it. So it's secondary. You charge them $100, but if it's a 20% tax, then you are only going to get $80 because 20% of the actual price is going to the tax. So it's kind of like additive or subtract or, inclusive or non-inclusive, which is maybe the wording they should put in here is inclusive or non-inclusive. And then let's say this is Alberta. And then you would save that tax rule. Now, once you save that tax rule, nothing really happens. The only time you're ever going to see anything in there or have that show up is when you are on your checkout for the particular website and they type in for their credit card, Alberta, Canada. As soon as that basically flags that's where their credit card, where they're buying it from, that's when it triggers and it will then show that new pricing that they're going to okay on the checkout. It just doesn't automatically do it for everybody because it's based on where they're doing the credit card from. Okay, so that's used to be in the back end. They set that up. Maybe I guess I did have that wrong. It was not the primary or secondary. It is inclusive and exclusive. This is how you do it in the rules here. Inclusive or exclusive. I guess the primary or secondary one is looks like multiple levels. So maybe there's a 20% tax and then there's a city tax or something like that, where it'd be a secondary city tax that taxes that amount or something. I think that's the primary, secondary. Obviously, if that applies to you, I'd always play with it to make sure it's executing how you want. But it looks like the inclusive, exclusive thing that we just talked about a second ago is up here in the rules. Any questions on that? Obviously, it doesn't affect most people in the U.S. for online unless you have Nexus and somewhere are making enough sales that matters for you. Most of the time, it's generally large for some of those states, so like 100,000 or 200,000. So it's usually not a big deal. But I think some states do. So I'm not a legal expert. Check with your local tax regulations. And then the last item that I wanted to kind of talk about is not necessarily huge, but it may not affect some of you guys. But if you guys go to the developer tools in your section, there's no pull down for developer tools anymore. It kind of opens up to another page instead of doing the pull downs. I'm not sure why, but just formatted a little bit differently. But these used to be the pull down menus, I think, just to explain it a little bit more than the menu would allow you to do. But if you guys go to the cPanel dashboard, this is kind of in the back end there where you would normally do your DNS settings or set up your email accounts or some of the other stuff that you normally do for a website in cPanel. And one of the things that they just took away as of this week, and just to let you guys know, there is no longer a file manager available. So they took away the ability to FTP or to add your own files to the file manager. just for security purposes. So you couldn't add, you know, a WordPress site in there or other script or other stuff, just for the security of their servers, for 1,000 websites out there that potentially could get in the file manager to put some code in there for your server. They're just trying to lock that down because obviously that's increasing more and more all the time. So that file manager is not available anymore. Where that comes into play for me, I've done that for different stuff for like the icons for the iOS app have to be at the root domain. So it can't be in the images folder. It has to be at the root domain. Sometimes where I've had it where you have to upload a file to verify that you own the domain. They'll say, add this to your root of your domain to make sure that it's verified that you own it. You can't do that anymore. So I reached out to the developers on this one, and the owner got back to me and basically said that, you know, there's some workarounds that we can do. If you guys need to have a file uploaded, and obviously it's not a nefarious tool or whatever that you need to upload, like it's an image or a verification file that doesn't offer an alternate way to verify, or the image icon is an example. It literally has to be there. You can just open up a support ticket and ask support to upload that stuff for you, and they can do that from the back end. You just will not be able to do it from your end any longer. So I just want to throw that out to you guys in case that ever comes up. Just something new that you do not have that. And I think what they're doing with the CSS code, for example, or the web page stuff, a lot of times you could upload a web page with the file manager and upload it in the back end and just kind of reference it, you know, for the web page there in the back end, and you could get the full page up that way and kind of bypass the CSS. But now that they kind of open that up, you can kind of make whatever web pages you want in the editor. So that has helped out, and I think that's one of the reasons why. One of the other things that they have done as well, in case you guys have not noticed this, in the Content Media Manager, you can now upload a lot different files than you used to because you do not have that file manager. They're starting to unlock the item to run your website as an applicable upload capability in your site. So you can now upload, it says image or PDF, but you can actually upload ebooks, .mobi, like Mobi files. You can upload XML files now. PowerPoint, I believe they said they opened it up for as well, and I think I tried that one out already. They're opening up the other types of files that you can upload in here because they're kind of taking the other one away. They're basically opening it up for particular items. It's just harder to do in cPanel to do that, but they can lock it down by exact types of files now, and you can drag or drop there. I may ask that they put on here the update of what you can do. Let me just go to their website real quick and just kind of show you where that's at. If you guys want to know, if you go to the support page, you can kind of see all the different files that you can upload, but I'll find that real quick. But let's see, that was called, was that the Media Manager? If you guys go to the support site and just type in Media Manager, it should come up. And it just lists out all of the files. Let's see. Yeah, so here we go. So docx, GIF, JPEG, PNG, PDFs, SVGs, web, these are all image file types, right? And then EPUB. I think Mobi's available too. XML they just opened up, and I'm pretty sure PowerPoint. I'm going to ask if you can't. If they don't already have that. Actually, I could just do that while we're talking here, see if I can upload a PowerPoint. But that's it. That's all I had from over the break. But as usual, they're busy updating and doing a lot of cool things for everybody. Any questions on that? I'm going to try a PowerPoint while we're talking here.
Yeah, I can definitely appreciate it from the security aspect from their standpoint. So it makes sense.
And it looks like you cannot do PowerPoint. So I may ask him a question. looks like just image files, all files. Oh, let me try it here. No. So I think that'll expand out as everybody at. So if everybody on the webinar can email them and ask for PowerPoint, no, just joking. But as people want additional items that are not nefarious, obviously, they'll probably open that up a little bit more lenient there, so you can upload any particular files. But that looks like the list right there, and they just updated that on 29 December. Or actually, it was last year when they updated that. So it's old. It's last year, but they updated those fields right there. Is what they did. They added the EPUB and the XML file, so they're starting to open up additional ones in there. But if you upload a PDF in there, it'll just look like that, or it'll say PDF with the SEO guide. Or if you have a lead magnet, for example, that you wanted to load in there, that's where it would show. And then speaking of lead magnets, I'll just throw this out there as well in case anybody still wants to get it that have not got it from the webinar I did with Jason a few weeks ago. If you go to directorytoolkit.com/monetize, so MONETIZE, directorytoolkit.com/monetize, that will forward you to the ebook that I presented. It's like a 24-page ebook on how to monetize your directory, and hopefully they'll post that on the website shortly. It's episode 104 if you guys want to watch that. But we basically go over the stuff on the website. I'm not sure why that's not forwarding. It should automatically forward you to the website, and if it does, I'll post it in the chat. There we go. Mine's just a little bit slow because I'm doing the live stream there. It kind of goes over all the stuff that we talked about on the webinar in that ebook, and again, it's 24 pages. So if you guys want to go to that and grab that, that is available for you for free as well. If you want to go ahead and grab that. Any questions on anything I talked about today, or any other directory questions in our last little bit here before we close it off for the new year? Not for the new year, but close it off for today. The other thing is I just want to see if you guys had any feedback on which direction we go for the topic sets for the year. Anything that you guys want to focus on again for the new year? I mentioned earlier I wanted to toss it over to you guys for anything that you guys want to work on, so I'll do that now while I try to figure out that image thing that I wanted to get back to. But anything that anybody wants to try to work on for the new year, or any topic focus that you guys want to for some of the webinars coming up?
Oh, Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah, one topic for me would be how to best utilize, social media, Facebook, Instagram, so forth, to help promote the directory, kind of cross-promote it, maybe as new members come on and so forth. Any ideas or thoughts on that as far as social media promotion?
All right, Mark wants to open that can. All right, I see how it is. No, that's it's obviously a big one. Yeah, we can get into that a little bit in terms of how you and we've gone over that a little bit in the past in terms of how to make the imagery right. We've gone over some of the other systems like Publer. I think we went in depth on, and scheduling, or how to do that. Kind of talked about how to market that a little bit in terms of tracking the links with some of those link shorteners and stuff to know where people are coming from, getting the leads and all that stuff. But you're just talking about the different media platforms, I guess, in general, or what types of content to actually post?
Yeah, I mean, as far as drawing people from social media into the directory, or kind of cross promotion type of thing, making them aware, drawing people from let's say my social media sites into the directory and saying, hey, company ABC just got listed in the my directory type of thing. Promotion. The best way to, maybe there's some tips on best ways of doing it or best practices?
Yeah, what I might do is have Corey on the thing. That is one item that we've brought up before. If you guys, and again, this is just another BD owner that's made a course. It's fbgroupaccelerator.com, Facebook Group Accelerator.com, and he actually has a whole course on that about how to leverage your Facebook group to ramp up your directory or your site in less than 60 days for marketing agencies. And he's been on a BD a couple times talking about some of this stuff, but he's got an entire course on there on getting a results-driven Facebook group and pushing traffic and stuff. And he's got, a BD website that he's doing quite well with. And he actually is going to start opening up some other ones as well with that same technique, and is starting to take off pretty quick with the same same process that he has. But you guys can go take a look at that one. Obviously, that's just Facebook, the types of things. Obviously, Instagram is another big one. I know there's been some questions on LinkedIn and stuff like that. So I'm definitely not the expert on all of those different platforms. There's a bunch of different techniques, obviously, to do that. And then there's a bunch of different, software, too, that you can just do other types of things like promotions, right? Or contests, that kind of thing, where you can try to do more viral campaigns. And we really haven't gone into that too much. So it's definitely something that we can probably work our way into.
Hey, Ryan, I just have a separate question regarding profile logos. Is it best, how right now I have a bunch of blank ones because most of them, I'm just listing them. Is it better to leave it blank or have nothing, or put like in my case, Ohio Biz Profiles directory as the default profile logo until the member actually posts their own, or I put one of their logos?
No, that's a good. I'll get to that in a second. Mark. Okay. I found the problem.
Sure.
If you guys have that code in the thing, I did not have a comma at the end of that, and that's why it was broken and not working. I just added the comma, and we are going to. I'll get to that in a second, Mark. I'm going to go ahead and press with the my demo here of the image, because I guarantee you this is now going to work. I'm feeling confident on this one. Let me go back to manage my account. And then we'll get going. So I'll get to that in a second, Mark. There's a couple of different things that you can do. You can leave it blank. You can have your own banner, or you can actually make it more random by kind of using your couple admin settings to maybe change it up a little bit. And I'll show you that as an aside there. Maybe somebody wants to do that as an alternate version. So kind of three things that you can do with that. All right, so I'm going to go to my profile photo here real quick. Oh, wait, I logged in as that test company. Stand by. I need to log in as my site again. All right, I'll just talk to that question while I'm loading this up again. So what Mark's asking is you're asking for the profile and the search results, correct?
Correct.
So what normally happens is, you can select an image that shows up for the particular search results. Let me just silence everybody again to make sure. And again, you can unmute yourself there in a second, Mark, if you want to talk again. So, all right, login as a member. So normally you can pick an image in the default settings for the search results to have a particular person in there, and that's just the default one, but it ends up looking repetitive with no branding either. So you may want to change that, and we'll go into that in a little bit on the different options. So you can just leave it as is, obviously change the photo You can swap it out with yours for the photo, or you can change an admin setting. Those will be the three options. But let me demo this while we're here. So I'm going to go ahead and click the change photo. And like I thought, it is now working. I'm going to go grab that full scale image again. And I'm going to apologize to the people that had to scroll through the entire webinar to get to this back half of this. But that's the thing you go through when you customize stuff. It can be a small comma, as you guys saw there, that could totally throw off your site. So be careful changing stuff, because that's what can sometimes happen. All right, so now we're going to upload that image. All right, looks like it did before, but now notice I can change the vertical, but I can't go bigger. You guys notice that now? So now I can't expand out for that whole image. I can only go smaller within that aspect ratio of that 1140 by 200 or whatever that I wanted. That's as big as I can get. I can now move this. I can move this in the background. And then I've also have the capability, again, I talked about the mouse wheel. Now, if I move my mouse wheel, I can now zoom in on that larger image that was really 5,000 and really zoom in on that. What I really wanted in the picture was the end of the string with the ball on it. That's exactly what I wanted. So I'm zoomed in on that. And that's the Rudolph's nose there. That's what I want for my Christmas. And so now you can also double click off the side here, and you can kind of start from scratch and do that same dimensions as well. And you can expand out, but once you're to the full width, like we talked about before, I cannot expand it any larger than that. And so what ends up happening now is you as the owner can set the maximum height. You can now zoom in and zoom out to get that exact part of that larger image you want. And then when I confirm that cover at that point, now I don't have those half-page images anymore on my site. They can only go to that particular max size. And now all of my sites are at that particular size. And it looks like I zoomed in way too far there, because that section I cropped out of that is a smaller amount. So you want to make sure that obviously it's really, really high res if I'm zooming in that much, because it looks like I zoomed in too far, so made it a little bit smaller. But hopefully you guys can see the difference there between that one and the old one. At least now you can change the image a little bit and zoom in and move it around a little bit more cohesively. All right, so let's answer Mark's question here. This will be looks like the last thing we'll fit in for today. What he's mentioning is, again, the search results. And actually, do you mind if I go just show yours what you're talking about there, Mark? And I did mute you, so if you want to unmute yourself there. Okay. Well, I'm not going to go use it since he didn't give me permission here. Let me just go to my Hudsonville site real quick. On I change anything that comes into mine. I automatically change the images. So hopefully this is an example of what to do and not to prevent. But let me just go to mine real quick. I'm going to go to the search results, and you'll notice. And I'm actually just going to go to a demo Bootstrap one. I'm sure they have a bunch of ones with empty stuff on there. That'll be a good example of what yours would normally look like. But with mine, because I have all the images in here for mine, it looks pretty congruent. It looks fine. They're all the same size. All the logos are there, and it looks good, right? As we scroll down there again, and we load more and more businesses, they're all going to have the exact same look and feel, and it's going to look fine. What happens is when you don't have, can't spell Bootstrap right. What happens when you don't have all of the images inputted in there, or you have a bunch of people that are signing up that don't add the images in there? You can be really proactive right? And then go edit them. Like if somebody adds one in for mine and they don't add their logo, I'll go grab their logo, talk to it, or send them an email, let them know I'm adding their logo because I want it all on there, and I just make sure that it's there. But you notice they have 10,000 listings on here. I'm betting that not all of these are on here, but see, even this one looks good, right? They've all got images on there. And looks like it looks fine. That's not a good one because it doesn't have all of them in there. I'm going to go to it's one of these things where I can't find one that doesn't have listings anymore. Let's see, Yellow Pages. Oh, I know a good one. This is actually mine, so sorry. I'm going to go to directoryregistry.com. If you guys ever want to see examples of some other websites that are on BD, just for some demos, you guys can go there. But I have a lot of on here, and they don't have any images, so of what that'll look like. So it's going to pick a random section, let's say health and personal care. And so what happens is when you don't have any uploaded images, right, it ends up looking like this, where you just have, the little body, and it doesn't look as good, right? And so if you have a ton of those on there, where this usually comes in is when I see people uploading like 10,000 listings or something like that, or they have a ton of them where there's just a bunch of listings, they don't have any logos. It's just page after page of that, right? And so that's what happened on mine, where I just uploaded a bunch of names there and I haven't filled out the profiles, or they haven't filled out the profiles, and it's just empty. And it doesn't look good. You can see the stark difference between that, right, and a directory that's filled out with all of the images. It just looks different, right? It looks complete. And so his question is, how do we get? What are some options for that? So you can obviously change the default image to one. Sometimes I've seen it where people put, add your logo, like it's a call to action message where they ask them to do something. Not necessarily embarrassing for the company. If they don't have, they're like, this person has not paid me for a logo. Click here to, pay for a subscription now or something like that. But you can actually add a call to action on there if you want. And then the other thing, what people sometimes do is they just kind of put their own logo on there. So it would have your particular business logo, but then sometimes that can get obtrusive a little bit as well, because it's their company or their page, right, with maybe some information. And then just imagine mine instead of it in here, right, potentially, but then it'd be like my logo, my logo, my logo, my logo, my logo. And so sometimes that can look obtrusive, especially if it's a full color logo. Sometimes people like to put their logo, but put it subdued. So it looks like this, only it says basic whatever directory member, and it kind of has a logo, but it's subdued. And so it just kind of everybody knows, hey, they haven't uploaded their logo. It's just kind of a placeholder, but it's a placeholder with your branding on it, as opposed to a faceless thing right there. And so let me show you guys where to do that in case you want to update that. And you would go to the general settings and brand images. And it's right here for default member photo. And this is if they are a membership and have themselves as an individual. And then this one would show up if they have themselves logo. It would show up as they have themselves as a company. So you'll actually want to switch both of these if you want to have those customized, ones for the company and the other one is for the individuals. The third option that you can do is go to your advanced settings, and you'll want to, once that loads up with the advanced settings, just in the keyword here, you just want to type in the word category. And okay, and it's this one right here, maybe profile. It's a better one. Yeah, no, category looks like category. Just type in category, and then it's this one we're looking for. Category image is a profile photo. So what happens on this one, if you turn this one on, Okay. What it's going to do is if that's enabled, the member's default profile photo is going to use the photo associated with their top level category. So what that enables you to do is to create a little bit more randomness, but still not have it be the actual logo. So what happens is when you go to your content, the members and the member categories, and it's just asking me that because I switched to setting and didn't save it. When you go to the categories, let's say the top level category here, I just have directory owners, advertisers, and product and service providers. If you upload an image for that particular category and you turn that option on, whatever image you have for that category is what's going to show up here. So for instance, since I'm in the health and personal care here and I uploaded in the personal care category, for example, a doctor, right, a random doctor office with a doctor in it or something, that picture is going to show up for every one of these because they're in the same top level category. However, if I'm just going to hit the search button here and I just get a search of random businesses, what's going to happen, instead of just being doctor, it's going to be doctor, person mowing lawn, sports car. It's going to, it's basically, if it may have sports car, lawyer, or whatever, if they just happen to be, next to each other. But it basically it could be, mowing lawn, sports car, doctor, mowing lawn, sports care, doctor, right? Even with 3, but you can tell if you have a bunch of top level, you have like 20 top level categories. And you put images in for each one of those categories. This would create a little bit of randomness in here, but it would not be as generic as this and just look like in ad nauseum that they're all the same thing. So those are kind of the 3 options there, Mark, to consider. You can either kind of leave it as is, put a subdued one with your logo, put a logo or something else with a call to action, like ask them to sign. And this is actually one of those things we were talking a little bit earlier about, Rich, and it's actually a good idea, is you can kind of do stuff whether somebody's logged in or not logged in, potentially. So if they're kind of looking in and they're not logged in, or they're looking at their business, maybe they click on this and they click here. It says click here to join or to claim your business or whatever. Maybe that goes straight to the join page instead of going to their profile. And it's kind of a call to action. And if they're not logged in, it just goes to that particular, join page or whatever. So those are a couple of different options. You could have the subdued, have a call to action, or you can turn on that other admin setting there to kind of put different content. And then my personal favorite, the other one, is just if they're in there and you're in your directory, take the time, go contact them and grab the logos and put them in there as claim listings, just so it's a good user experience for your directory clients. So.
Brian, I do have a quick question, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, as far as the chat back and forth, the one-on-one was pretty good on the demo. Is there any kind of forum or group chat capability built into the system?
No. The only forum thing that they turned on, and let me go back to this again. It's not really a forum. It's more of a reply to feature inside of the actual item, but they added they used to just have Facebook comments, or you could put discuss comments, or just basically had a spot where you can embed your own custom commenting system in there into BD, and it would add the Facebook comments or the discuss stuff in there. But they added in a back and forth kind of forum commenting system inside of BD now that you can turn on and put at the bottom of any particular. And then there where it just it adds your logo. It says post a new comment. It's threaded. You can kind of see how many comments are on there. And so it's kind of like a forum, I guess. If the way to do that is you'd make a post type of different post types, or I guess category types of what people are posting. If somebody could post a a little blurb in a paragraph like you would on Facebook, right? Of their, they can upload an image and basically have a group comment, right? And that's the initial post. And then everybody is then back and forth comment threading on the forum kind of thing for that first initial topic set. And then you could have a search result kind of like community articles. It would just be community discussions, right? Where people are posting different discussion topics, and you could make it smaller so they're all kind of just one after the other. It would just be discussion topic, and then when they click on that, it opens up with just that little blurb of content, and then everybody's comments back and forth on that. So you can kind of set up a forum here with that new system, but other than that, there's no just forum back and forth chat stuff automatically in BD. You'd have to use another third party or strap-on kind of thing.
But you can have multiple threads for different topic areas if you choose.
Well, I mean, it's just the thread is a post at that point. They're just posting a thing. And so what you would probably do is you would add in something similar to let me go to the demo bootstrap again real quick, back to that classified ad. I think that has one on there where you could just add at the top of that page in the custom header of a button that says add a comment, right? Or add a discussion. And you would just add a button there, and it would go to their homepage or their dashboard to add a new discussion topic like this. This is the only one usually that's used. I've done it on a couple other sites where they add a button somewhere to post a news request or post something. But you would just do something like that, where you'd go like post a new discussion, and then if they were logged in, it would just go straight to the thing where they could just post a new discussion. Then they'd hit submit, and then they could go view that discussion or whatever, and it would just add it to that, to the top of the forum, right? Which just happens to be the search results for that particular post type. And then now they just posted a forum topic, and then everybody can respond to it. So
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yep. No worries. All right. Thanks, guys. That's our 2 hours there. We didn't really didn't really get that much discussion on what everybody's looking to do at this year, but that's fine. Hopefully you guys got some stuff out of that newbie stuff from BD over the holidays there. And thanks for joining in again. If you guys want to, this will be posted on directoryvideos.com. So make sure that you guys give a thumbs up or like on there and subscribe at directoryvideos.com and our YouTube channel, or you can join us obviously next week, same time at 11:30 or 1:30 on Thursday, and we'll get going on another topic set for next week. So thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good Christmas and a happy New Year, and we'll see you guys next time. Appreciate it.